Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Awesome. Mean Girl stars Angry Rice. New student Katie Heron gets welcomed into the top of the social food chain by an elite group of popular girls called the Plastics, ruled by the combining queen bee Regina George. So Mean Girls is a very classic film, meaning it has to be remade, right? Right? Of course. Why not? We're in that still in that stages where everything has to be remade because Hollywood has no ideas. It's not like we had interesting ideas last year with Dream Scenario from A2020, A24, or anything like that, or other films with original ideas. At least Barbie was somewhat original. Yes, they did take the the character, like the doll, and made it into something, but the actual script was original in a form. There was nothing of its own in this film. Now there is tiny pieces in this movie that they took out and replaced with their own, but the stuff that they took out was less interesting what was in the film, or was not as funny as it was in the original. So you can already see that I didn't enjoy myself in this movie because the first Mean Girls is a fucking classic. And yes, there is a play on Mean Girls. The thing is, I'm pretty sure that play does something different to make it worth a while to go out and see it. This has nothing worth of seeing. The music is fine. There's a couple of new jokes that are funny, but the characters are way worse in this than the original because they literally all they did was copy and paste the script and make minor changes. But next the minor changes that they do shits on the fucking original characters. That's what happens in this film. Like you have Janie in this film where she, their whole entire backstory about why her and Regina are not no longer friends, which was hinted at in the original, but they never really touched on what happened. They kind of sort of did, but they left it like up in the air. It's like sixth grade stuff, eighth grade stuff. It's like dumb little kid stuff, and you forget about it, you move on. It's not that big of a deal. But here, they do something fucking stupid. I'm like, oh, so you are insane. Because they come out, it's like, oh no, 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 no. It's not all like that. Here's the real story, and they again, this is how they get exposition through the audience. They literally just tell you straight to the camera, and it's like, and next this happened. So it partially did happen, but it wasn't meant that way. So no, she's still insane because the thing that they're telling her about is not really true, but it is true because she still had that attention of doing that thing, but it just got out of hand. So she is insane. Why should I fucking care about this character? Angry Rice's character is a dick in this movie. There is no build up to anything. She's just immediately a fucking dick for no fucking reason. And like you can just tell all these scenes are just forced together because it makes like they just don't make any sense. You have Katie coming from Africa, so in the original she has like this monologue to herself. Over here it's more done with like TikTok. Of course it's fucking done with TikTok. Um, it's to show the modern day world of like how kids are always on their phones. I get that point. So that's not really a negative point, but they take away something that is from her character of basically talking to herself and basically coming to this realization of what she is doing wrong. They take all that out. She's immediately just does the thing that what the script says. That's all they do. But then they also take away that's also from her character of like she's from the wild, so she's a little bit weird and she doesn't really know how to act in normal, like in a normal world setting. And so they take out that animal, like there's times in the original where she's starting to think of like students as like animals, so at some point they start attacking each other in her own imagination, and it's funny. But here it's only done in like the musical bits, and next there's parts later on that it's done, but it's like this makes no sense. Rini Rath, who plays Regina in this movie, is awful. Like holy crap, this is like I'm not trying to crap on her. She has an amazing voice, but my God, it's like I forget one of the actress' name, but it's the movie with He's All That. It's on Netflix. I can't remember. It's another singer. It's also like a TikToker. I forget her name, but it's the same level as acting as in that film, where it's just like, wow, that is fucking really bad. When it comes to the moments in this film where she is getting really pissed off, like in the original, it's like, what the fuck? This is really bad acting. this is this is awful. At least in the original one, it's like oh shit, shit's going to go down, and it's also funny to see the way that she's acting. Here it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? It just does not have the same impact as the original. It does not have the same effort as the original, and they take things out from the original that makes what's the original good. It takes out what the characters are. It takes out the build up. It takes out everything that is what makes the original good and replaces it with a musical bit and trying to add some new modern day stuff because the original one I guess is outdated. So I can live without, like, the gym teacher getting involved with students. We don't need that. That's obviously that they don't need to have. But then they still have a certain joke for a teacher in this movie, but it makes no sense. Her character, like, um Katie getting mad at this teacher makes no fucking sense because we don't actually spend that much time with her character to see her change. She just suddenly starts acting like a fucking dick. The difference between also with Angourie Rice and Lindsay Lohan is that they made Lindsay Lohan feel like she's like a weird kid, and so she's kind of sticks out with everyone and she doesn't really fit in, but she has this look of attractiveness. That's the reason why the plastic girls also notice her. It's like, oh, you're very pretty, and but they also could be lying to her just to make fun of her. Like, so, like, there's these different like themes going around, so like you don't really know who you can trust. um and so but you also see, but she also has this like look to her, like, yeah, someone might not really want to date her in high school, but then you have their change where she becomes this popular kid in school. Angourie Rice is a very attractive woman from the beginning and a very attractive one from till the end. There's no sudden change in her appearance, and that makes her look like she would not be that weird kid. At least in the original, they made it look like Lindsay Lohan would be a weird kid. So they really just take out all the personalities in these characters that make them what they are, and just like they're plain versions of themselves. That's the problem I have with this movie. You don't get, and I'm not going to give you points on taking stuff from the original. That's not your. I'm not going to give you points for that. People are like, well, didn't you like Color Purple? The difference with Color Purple is that the original one is fucking dark. There's things in that movie are dark, and the musical makes it more of a more a lighter tone type of film. So you get two different films there. For one, you not only get a musical, you get a lighter film than the original one. So you can maybe, if you have parents that are not really too sure if they want to show their kids the original film, just like, okay, we'll show you the remake, the musical one. Here it's just like, no, just watch the fucking original one. Yes, there's things in it that I'm like, that might not go well today, but it's harmless. It's harmless stuff. It's lasts maybe 5 seconds in the film, but there's more stuff in the film that makes us care more about our characters, that make it what it's classic today, because the writing sticks with us as also a person. You cannot tell me that you can remember one quote from this fucking movie, and I guarantee half the time, if you're not someone that's seen it, that hasn't seen the original, you're going to say something that is very quotable that's in this movie that's from the original. So try saying something that isn't from the original that is in this movie. You most likely can't, because there's nothing memorable about this movie. I'm gonna give Mean Girls 2024 a D-. There's maybe a couple musical bits I really enjoyed, and maybe some of the new stuff, like some of the new jokes, but I hardly can remember them. That's the problem. I can hardly remember them, and not as quotable as the first one. So, and you're not getting points of doing stuff that was in the first one that's in this one. So, just stay at home. If you want to watch Mean Girls, watch the first one. It's on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus is like $5 a month, or just go buy the physical media. You have a better time with that than going out to see this one, or go spend more money on the play. I have no idea if they're still doing the play to this day, but I guarantee you will get your money's worth out going and seeing that and going to see this. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.